You set an alarm for 6 a.m. to go to the gym. The alarm rings. You hit snooze. Logically, you know exactly what you should do, yet you repeatedly make choices that sabotage your own goals. Centuries before modern psychology, Chapter 3, verse 42 of the Bhagavad Gita mapped the exact mechanics of this failure. This verse operates as an internal schematic, a diagram of human behavior that shows how you lose control and how to get it back. This diagram illustrates 4 distinct layers of your internal wiring. The outermost layer represents your senses. Every action in your life begins right here. A glowing screen, the smell of food, a notification chime. The senses are your outermost points of contact with the world. These senses don't give direct orders to your physical body. They operate through seduction and distraction, pulling at your attention by exciting or tempting you. If you leave this outer boundary unguarded, these sensory inputs dictate how you spend your time, the habits you form, and the direction of your life. Inside those boundaries sits the second layer, the mind, a restless interpreter. It instantly translates raw sensory data into a powerful craving or aversion. Moving deeper, we reach the third layer, the intellect. While the mind feels, the intellect knows. The mind seeks immediate relief and pleasure. The intellect operates as a quiet judge, prioritizing objective truth, clarity, and long-term meaning. We can map a bad decision as a mechanical failure. When your intellect is weakened or ignored, it fails to filter the chaos of the mind. The mind's emotional spikes surge right past the intellect and hijack your actions. A breakdown in discipline occurs when the reactor successfully bypasses the judge. It is a structural failure within the internal hierarchy. Let's test this model. Think back to that 6 a.m. alarm. You feel an overwhelming urge to hit snooze and stay in bed. Pause the video for a second. Which specific layer is driving that urge? That urge is layer 2, the mind, reacting to the physical comfort of the bed from layer 1 and successfully overpowering the intellect's knowledge of your goals. To correct this imbalance, the Gita presents the final, innermost core of the schematic, the self. This is a functional anchor point. The self is pure awareness. It does not take action, experience desire, or feel panic. It simply observes. This core layer separates the observer from the observed. Cravings and thoughts are events happening to you, but they do not define who you are. Stability comes from a shift in identity. Stop identifying with the reactive outer layers and anchor yourself in the silent core that does the seeing. Let's run a managed impulse through this anchor blueprint to see how control is maintained. An external stimulus arrives, perhaps the smell of junk food. The senses process it, and the mind generates a spike of craving. That initial reaction is inevitable, but this time the intellect steps in. Supported by the deep awareness of the self, the intellect pauses the chain reaction. It evaluates the craving against your goals and shuts the impulse down, returning the system to equilibrium. This hierarchy shows the internal chain of command. The senses gather inputs, the mind reacts, and the intellect judges, all witnessed by the self. Maintaining discipline depends on this internal alignment. By shifting your identity towards the observer, you empower your intellect to govern your mind's impulses.